Okay. I haven't tied this adventure to any particular area. It is set in the realms.
Oh, okay.
So, for the sake of this, we'll say that we're looking. You were in Scornable.
I don't know that one.
It's one of my favorite cities. It's on a major trade route, and it's a place of questionable morals. It's maintained as a kind of a central neutral zone.
What kind of general region is it?
It is northwest along the river from Baldur's Gate.
Sword Coast.
Yes, so it is Sword Coast.
But a fair bit north.
Yeah.
Farther north than Neverwinter?
No, not that far north.
So between Baldur's Gate and Neverwinter?
It's actually almost as far. It's just slightly farther north than Baldur's Gate. It's along the river that goes west.
Does it go right to the the Sea of Stars that's there, or what's the?
I don't know if I don't believe the river makes it quite that far.
Okay.
But it does go in that direction. And in this particular case, you'd heard of a number of travelers that had been disappearing along the trade route between Scornable and Subar.
Okay, Subar. Subar's a nasty place, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
With Black Abbey.
Yeah, that's.
But they hadn't been having a lot of trouble up until recently. And it seems that it's the occasional small band that disappears or gets attacked, and no one's been able to give a very good description of what's happening or who's attacking them.
There's not much trace. There's not much. They're just gone.
Pretty much.
Okay.
You've set out to try to gather some information and perhaps put an end to these raids.
Well, what I think he would likely try to do, just with his ear to the ground and that kind of thing, is find out when a small party he is going to be going, and then actually stealthily follow them, like behind them a fair bit.
Okay.
And then he would go from there to see if they do end up getting attacked, and then kind of intercede, follow, etc. from there. So he would probably start a few hours later than them, follow along, try and sleep quickly. He's first level, so down the road the idea was he'd make little tinker things that are similar to like a clock, a timer, that kind of thing.
Right.
But I don't think he really gets to start with anything.
Not much. And in this particular case, we'll say that you have been following a small band of merchants.
Mm-hmm.
They've been traveling for a couple of days, and they've reached an area in the foothills near an area that there are ruins of an old fortress called Tor Marech.
I think once they get settled, if they're stopping before it, that I would try and go around them and actually check that out to see if it's actually being used by anyone as a base. Are you able to see his sheet? Just to give you an idea of his skills and stuff.
Yep. It's not a problem. I'm giving you the background right now.
Yeah. Okay.
Because where it actually kicks off is in here. So we're kind of getting where you're going. So you've headed
Sorry, were you
off
trying to show
off
me a
into the
map or
hills.
something?
No,
Oh,
like
okay.
I said, I don't have any maps configured right now.
No, that's fine. It was just from your statement. I was confused.
Nope. I'm just trying to set
Picture
the
it.
stage. So in this particular case, as you began heading towards Tor Marech, you get the feeling that you're being watched, and the last thing that you remember is seeing these glowing orange eyes, and then everything goes black.
Black. So much for dwarven resistances to things.
Yep, not a lot of hope in the start of this one, because where it actually begins is you awakening. Yes. And as you're starting to come to your senses, the musky smell of earth and rust permeates a dark room. There's the faint glow of torchlight lights a nearby corridor and casts a shadow on the wall of the barred door to the cell.
Okay.
The ground is covered in moldy straw and small puddles of rancid liquid.
Lovely. It's the crack hotel. So the first thing he will do is carefully go through his beard, hair, everything where there may still be some thieves' tools, picks, etc. left behind, to see what he's got to work with. Just so you know, his expertise went in investigation and his thieves' tools. And then he'll make a quick list of what he actually has available.
Well, unfortunately, you find that all that you have is your clothing.
Come on. Okay, I will quickly then check the cells, etc. See if there's anything remotely hard, like a stick, a piece of wood, something that I can chew down into shapes if I need to use it as an improv pick.
Okay. Go ahead and make an investigation check. Okay. As you're kind of moving around the cell and looking for anything that could work, you do notice that the door to the cell is extremely rusted, and outside the cell, you can to the west, you can see that it looks like a section of this area has collapsed.
Okay.
There's a lot of rubble across the way, and farther up the corridor to the east, you can see a number of other cells.
I'll listen.
While you were making your way around the cell, you notice that there are these stones on the west wall seem to be loose.
So are they the wall that the door is in?
It is not. The door is in the northern wall, but there's a section in the main wall that seems to be kind of loose, and you're able to dislodge a couple of the stones.
Okay. Yeah, the stone cutting thing doesn't really do much for you on that. Okay, I'll take a look at the door itself.
Okay.
And give it a good old reef and just see how sturdy it is.
Well, it does rattle, and you get bits of gravel.
Like here, I'll just make a strength check if you want, just to see what happens. But
okay. And it really kind of you can get a good shake on it. You also notice that you're getting the clanging as you're banging at it.
yeah, I stop if once it gets really loud. I was just more trying to do a pull back, pull out, pull sideways, pull corner down,
Okay.
more than a shake kind of thing on it.
Yeah, it's definitely old and
That's
in
dirty
disrepair,
enough.
but it seems to be holding.
I'll check the stonework around it just to see if there's any around it that looks like loose, mortar gone. And then I'll check that at any points where it seems like if one or two could come loose, I could make a big enough space to try and get out later.
Okay, around the main door, while there's a lot of cracks, it's nothing that's loose enough that you're able to pry out.
Yeah.
But while you're doing this, you do hear a voice from across the hall and up the hall a little bit. Hey!
Hello?
Hey! Any chance you can get out of there?
Well, I can try. Do you happen to have, this is going to sound weird, like a small stick, piece of wood, piece of bone, something like that? Even like a thin piece of metal? Actually, I see if there's thick enough piece of rust, heavy rust, that I could flake off the bottom of the gate. So it would be thick and fairly stiff. It wouldn't like crack or that, but it would peel off. You know what I mean? When stuff gets really rusty.
Yeah, that it's most of what you can pry off. There's a lot of corrosion,
Yeah.
but nothing that would be sturdy enough to use as a pick. But the other one's little bastards took everything.
Do you know who or what they are? All I remember is orange eyes.
I remember that as well, but I've been here a few days. I've seen little bastards, little blue things.
What do they look like? Like goblin size, smaller?
They're about the size of goblins, but they're definitely not goblins.
Do they look like frogs? Do they look like toads? Do they look like people? Do they look like kobolds?
They're kind of hard to describe. They're kind of pathetic looking, to be honest.
Great, that makes me feel so much better now.
I just don't. I don't know what they are, but they're definitely humanoid, and they're not very large.
Okay. Have you noticed? Do they use keys or anything to open any of the doors?
They do.
And where do they keep them on their body?
There's usually 3 of them when they come in, and one has a ring of keys.
The other 2?
If you get too close to the gate when they come, they'll drug you.
What do they use? Darts or something? Or
Yes.
like a blowgun or like a little crossbow or?
Usually they just got small darts, and they're good with them. Of course, it's not much room to dodge in these cells. I tried that once.
So you don't have anything in there, eh? Like a little sliver of wood, a little bone, anything?
No. I've been trying to knock some sections, knock something loose that I could use, but my cell's pretty sturdy. Sounded like you might have gotten something loose there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try a couple things. I start pushing all the straw to pile it up in front of the gate.
Okay.
And also sweep up any of the liquid, moisture, goop, whatever crap there is.
Okay.
How high up does it go?
After you've kind of pushed it all together, you got maybe a foot and a half.
Okay.
It
Now I thoroughly check through, see if I can find any shards of stone, any, like, if it was mortared, any piece of mortar that have come out. Like, literally go to town trying to look for anything I can use in the lock.
okay.
Do I
Give
still
me-
have my belt?
Yes, you do have your belt.
Does my belt have a little metal pin that goes through the hole to lock it in place? You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm gonna try and use that.
Okay, so you're gonna take off your belt and attempt to pick the lock with.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, now normally in picking a lock, you need 2 pins.
Then I'll look for another device of some sort that may work.
Um,
Are my boots on?
You do have boots.
Are they a laced boot?
They would be.
How is the ending on the lace done? Is it waxed?
It is waxed.
Enough to try or not?
Oh. Given that, um, go ahead and try to pick the lock
Okay.
with disadvantage because you don't
Of
actually
course.
have tools. But given what you have,
Now, I just did Thieves' Tool and did attribute as Dex. Because you know how it does that with tools?
yes.
Is that kosher? Or do you want me to do something else with it?
Yep. You will get your dex. You are not actually using thieves' tools,
So I don't get the
so
expertise?
you don't get the expertise.
So just make a Dex roll?
Yeah.
Well.
Okay, you can almost get it, but the shoelace just isn't quite sturdy enough to give you the leverage that you need.
I yell at the other guy, do you have a belt?
Yeah.
Does it have a pin that goes through the hole to secure?
Yeah.
Can you get it off? Or can you...
You want my belt?
I want that pin.
Well, I'm willing to try anything. And from about two cells up, you see this kind of thick arm come out, holding the belt.
Roll it up and throw it at me when you do it, because it'll hopefully unroll towards me.
Yep. And he is going.
Does it look human?
Yes, actually,
Okay.
he looks. He look. Actually, with the thickness and where it is, it looks like it may be a dwarf.
I say quickly in dwarf friend.
Dwarf. He promptly responds. Yes.
Whenever they're here, if we plan something, we speak in dwarf. Okay.
Okay.
Actually, I just talked to a dwarf now. Whatever.
Okay. I would like you to make a sleight of hand check as he throws
Okay.
the belt.
And I am rolling so average, it's crazy. 11, 13, 11, 12. Like, seriously.
Okay. You're able
And
to
that's
catch
with +4 and +5 fun stuff.
as he kind of tosses the belt over. You're just able to catch it as it's coming down and pull it back through the bars.
I quickly try and work at it so I can get one pin isolated. And if I need to leave the other on the belt, I can. I just can't imagine both on belts working very well.
Okay. Go ahead and make a dexterity check.
No,
And with that, you are able, you kind of fiddling around. You got the two ends of the belt just kind of in there, twitchy. Finally, you hear click, and the door swings open slightly.
So I open it as quietly as I can, and I listen very carefully.
Okay, give me a perception.
Not my strongest one. Oh, good. I don't hear a damn thing. So I stealthily move to his. Go shh. Want me to roll that? Just for gigs?
No. No need to roll the stealth on here. There's nobody in the room except for the two of you right now.
Yeah, I'm just playing it. And then he quickly goes to try and get that one open. So another dex roll.
Okay. Before you do that, as you come around and look into the cell, you do indeed see another dwarf, long blonde beard, blonde hair, very sturdy looking individual.
Okay, I'm pretty solid, so
You're
does he make me look like a little boy?
Not quite, but he is a bit beefier than you.
Okay, that's good. This is gonna get bare-fisted fast.
Oh. Blessed be Lathander.
Nice.
Let's see if you can get this lock open. Okay.
I try.
Okay. And you are able to pick the lock. And just as you hear the click behind you, you hear the door open. It's about,
I just say
15 feet behind you.
I just say rush them. And I start rushing at it with one belt in my hand, and I toss him the other one.
Okay. Let's go. We'll pick these guys up.
So initiative or?
Yep. Go ahead and roll initiative. And I am also going to give you a friend.
Yeah, I figured I couldn't stealthily enough get anywhere, so just hope you surprise him. And basically what I'll try and do is the one who has the keys, I'm going to ignore, and I'm going to try and grapple one of the other ones as soon as I can get at them.
Okay. You should now see Cabot Stonebraid.
I see a guy with looks like a mace and a shield and a little blue head on a thing with a bunch of rooms.
Yep. The guy with it should actually be a hammer, but it's the guy with the shield. You should be able to access his sheet so that you will be able to handle him in battle.
Okay. And is he a fighter? Or?
He is a cleric.
Huh?
Cleric of Lathander.
Does he have any spells actually memorized?
He does. He would have his cantrips.
What's Guiding Bolt do?
And actually, if you double check, anything that doesn't require material components.
Yeah, Bless sucks. It needs material. It was the first one I looked
Healing Word, Guiding Bolt, and Cure Wounds. He has available and does not need material components for. Same for Sacred Flame and Spare the Dying.
Oh, he didn't have that down.
Those are his cantrips.
Oh, okay. So his other spells are not memorized?
No, he has his cantrips, and I would say that he does. You would be able to cast anything that does not require material components.
Great.
Because the little guys, they might not be the brightest, but they are thorough.
Yep. Yeah, they must be if they've been doing this for a while.
Okay. As you turn and rush towards the door, you see 3 small bluish figures. They're roughly humanoid. Their necks almost as thick as their heads.
They're
They
not
have kind of
hardy, eh?
scraggly hair and balding on top.
And blue?
They are blue.
Like a dark blue? A light blue? Just a, like, look like they drowned blue?
Yeah, kind of a drowned blue. It's just kind of a sickly blue.
Okay.
And then these orange eyes.
What's Cabot's initiative, or is he just going with mine?
You can go ahead, select him, and roll his initiative.
I don't know how I can, because his character sheet's like a... Oh, there it is.
There should be in a knit.
I saw it now. Yeah. Yeah, we're a pair.
Oh, did I grab the wrong? Oh, shoot.
Vort. I've heard of Vorts, but I've never actually played against one.
Yep, and I actually just realized I grabbed all the wrong one. Those aren't the ones you're up against. This is the one you're up against. What the hell is going on?
Woohoo, they're dying out of fear.
Oh, I see what's going on. Okay. These are a pain in the butt.
We had no token thing, so they
Yeah, sorry
about that.
Yeah, the tokens for them are still linked to the regular sheet.
Okay.
So, if you can see the bars, don't pay much attention to them.
Okay.
Me, actually.
With this few people, I'm not really too concerned.
Yeah.
So is that the door there where they came in? And we were like at the last ones down here?
I'm actually not sure what you're... Oh! Well, shit. I didn't even realize that I had left you on that map that I hadn't prepped. I had started pulling that up.
I'm ignoring the other stuff, so don't worry.
Yeah.
Not there. I'm good at that.
Okay, hold on. Give me a minute, because since
I'll look away.
I'll look away. Yeah.
It's funny. I just been ignoring it, and I scroll down. I'm like going, that looks like the hall.
Okay, let's see. How this goes. In a bit. See if that works. There we go. I should have been paying closer attention to my own setup here.
When it's convenient at some point, can you take the picture I have for the bio for Guy and just put him on the one there for me?
Yep, it should have actually come over when I dragged him in here. There you go.
Oh, I also mean just for the one that says Gregar at the bottom and Gregar on the.
Oh,
I just use that as my Roll20 thing, but in game I always like to have the same one. It's nothing big. It's just
that
quirk.
See if it'll let me change that.
Doesn't really matter. I still like that picture though. As soon as I saw it, I was like, "That's him."
There, we'll do it. Do it this way to keep that out of the way. Okay, one more clearing on the turn order. And now I should have my correct guys.
Okay, how many of them are there? Seriously.
There are 3 of them.
We're 2 freaking basically naked dwarves. Okay, that's good. I'm just watching 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. Then get you 2 added. And
Yeah, I think we basically go second and third last.
I was going to say Cabot's initiative was where?
It was lower than mine,
4.
I think. Oh, I rolled a 4. And
Cabot was a 4 and you have a 6.
okay.
Okay. Now, as you're kind of breaking away, we'll say you're both here.
I have a black screen. That's all I see now. Okay.
And just beyond here.
Ew. And how tall are they?
They're about 3 feet tall.
Oh god, so they're like almost half my height.
Yeah.
So knee right to the head.
Yeah. So as you turned and the door is open, you see one with a ring of keys and a ladle in his hand, and just behind him, starting to kind of head through the door, are 2 others with a large kettle.
Oh, supper.
Since you were able to, they all just kind of stop and look at you as you scream, "Rush 'em!" So they are extremely surprised to see you out of your cell. So you do get to make a round of attacks.
Well, how heavy does that pot look?
About a standard kettle, probably about 20 pounds or so.
Yeah, my goal is to literally bum rush into it and either slam one guy in between the wall with it or flip it right over its head. I don't know what's more realistic visually. That's what I'm going to try and do.
Okay, so you want to rush forward
and either just literally grab it and slam it, use it to ram the guy into the wall. But if it's really open door and they're just going to get pushed back, I'll literally try and flip it right over his head.
Okay. Give me a strength.
Okay.
Okay.
I just can't roll to
Yep.
save my life today.
You race forward and you grab the pot, and as you try to wrench it away, the little guy, he just kind of looks at you and just holds onto the handles, and you're unable to rip it out of his hand.
Feisty little bugger.
So you can go ahead with Cabot.
And he'll just step right up there, and he's gonna try a spell. Lathander, smite this little bastard.
Guiding bolt. Okay.
I've never used this. I don't even quite know what it does.
Okay. I will say, if you're going to use guiding bolt, you probably don't want to step forward.
Oh, right. It's 120 feet.
Range, yeah, it's a ranged attack. It's a disadvantage. That
yeah,
goes.
Gotcha. So he'll just stay where he was.
Okay.
And it's 46 radiant.
Yeah, that definitely hits.
Okay, so roll 46.
Yep. Or just click guiding bolt in the
on the character sheet, and
or just write in the chat where it shows your hit. Click guiding bolt. It'll roll the damage for you.
I'm assuming level 1.
Yeah. Okay. So the one in the front with the ladle is kind of standing there, and as you run past him and start wrestling with the pot, he turns and he's just about to yell something as Cabot lets loose this burst of blinding energy that hits this creature and just sends it flying into the wall and leaves it smoking.
Good shot, mate. Does the ladle fall on the ground near me?
Yes.
Oh. Okay. Let's see what the other two do.
Okay, I'm gonna see which one's which here so I get the right one out of the initiative order.
Is it like a good metal ladle or just a little wooden thing?
It's a wooden.
Nah. I'll just punch him in the head.
Okay. The one directly in front of you. Let's go of the pot and draws his dagger and takes a swipe at you. Said he takes a swipe. Hello.
No, he doesn't. He's scared. He freezes.
There we go. And even without armor, a 4 does not hit.
And his buddy.
They got some screwy stuff going on with the character sheet here, so I had to fix it.
Yeah, no problem, man.
So he goes, and now you are up.
Oh, the other guy though. There were 3 of them, right?
Yes, but they were all surprised, right. So you got to clear, and then we started at the top of the order.
So the pot's now unencumbered, correct?
Well, currently the other guy is still holding on to one of the handles.
Oh, okay. Does the pot look big enough to go over their body and head? Like
it would go over their head, but not over the body.
Okay. Then I still have it kind of in my hand, right? Like
I will say yes. With it.
So I'm literally just going to try and force it up and over the guy's head who's holding it.
Okay. Go ahead and make just
Strength or to hit or whatever.
D20 with your strength.
Okay. And my strength is 2, so 20.
Okay, so you're able to flip this up and slam it down on the other guy's head. You get D4 for damage.
With my strength or no?
Actually, yes.
So 5 total.
5 total. Okay, so as you grab the pot and bring it up and slam it down onto the other guy's head, you hear a little bit of a crunch.
Ooh, it went over his shoulders. I like it.
And he kind of flops over and falls into the doorway.
Cute.
That drops him. And
Cabot. And Cabot will. He just has a normal hammer. It's
well,
not
he
like
has
a war hammer. Oh, right. He's got nothing on him. Duh. Sacred Flame.
Okay. Let's see. And this guy manages to duck out of the way as Cabot sends this little burst of flame at him.
Okie dokie. I like a Cabot. I like the other one better. He's like, me too.
Okay, that brings us back to this guy who's going to make another stab at you with his dagger.
Ooh, I'm glad it wasn't the last roll.
Yeah, does not have advantage. So he kind of jabs at you and catches the edge of your clothes, but no contact.
I look at him go, that's not a knife. If you successfully grapple, you do nothing that turn. You just have hold of them, correct? Or can you actually move them?
Yeah, but in this case, you could not actually move them. But after he misses with the dagger, he kind of ducks out.
Oh, you bugger. Don't make me run.
And starts back down the hall. And you see he moves just down the hall, and you can hear him yelling. What languages do you know?
Common, dwarf, thieves' cant. Yep. I think that's it.
And Cabot, I don't believe. No.
Okay. Language is not my strong part.
Yeah, and it's this really guttural.
Sound a little like a goblin.
Sound. Not. It's actually harsher than goblin.
Ooh, that's saying something.
And it's guttural and kind of hissing, and it's
kind of like kobold and goblin all messed up.
Yeah, it definitely even sounds evil.
Gotcha. That's all I need to know.
Okay, so you can see down there. Moment. I can try to fix my other guys here.
There doesn't have to be other guys. It's okay. I'm going to really have to read on acrobatics. I don't know what you can do this edition with that.
Okay. So that was him. He is knocked down, and like I said, he's down and he's banging on this door just down the hallway. What are you doing?
I'm sprinting and flying tackle. I'm doing my best linebacker impersonation.
Okay, so you're charging forward.
Shoulder down right to his head. That's basically what I'm trying to do.
Oh. Okay.
He's 3 feet and I'm 5 feet. I should be able to lower it pretty good.
Go ahead and give me a strength.
Okie dokie.
Okay, so you are able to hit this guy and just knock him flat.
So is it like a D2? Something like that.
It would actually just be one. It tends to be 1 point of damage.
Okay. Do you get your strength mod though?
No.
Bummer.
But you have not knocked him flat and knocked the air out of him.
Is the dagger still in his hand?
He does still have a dagger.
Okay. And then Cabot. And then we'll try the bolt. Sorry, I'm slow with these things.
Not
I
a problem.
still haven't gotten very proficient with that.
Okay, another guiding bolt, which he automatically fails as he has been knocked prone.
Oh, that's sweet. 8 radiant. Have a nice day.
So with that, just the blast of flame just hits him, and he just stops screaming. He's all kind of scorched.
I quickly grab for the dagger. And then turn to face the door.
Okay, just to keep this clean, I'm going to knock this guy out of here. So, there we go.
Oh, it feels so good to see the bodies.
Now, from the other side of the door, you can hear this. Just that same language. You can't understand a word.
I take the dagger in my other hand and go scrape the door real quick and go just make up a muffled like groaning noise.
Okay. With that, the door opens.
Want to roll surprise? Because the dagger is coming right in between his eyes. Should we roll Inish again?
No, these guys will just be added into the initiative.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Since we hadn't left initiative.
That's not good. Is that a rat?
And it is sending. So I can make sure we've got that. Who is where? I'm going to figure out exactly how to handle this one because those two will actually come in on the next. But this guy had just opened the door.
Did your mummy's Vort tell you never to open the door to strangers?
Yeah, because let me
They are ugly-looking little things.
Okay, because you had just tackled the Zvart. You grab his dagger and do that. Cabot had just blasted the Zvart. So this guy opens up the door, sees you and Cabot, and
I was scraping the door with the dagger in my fingers, just so you know.
Yeah.
It's your friend clawing at the door desperately to get in. Help him.
Yeah. But in this case, you guys had just had.
Yeah, we had our turn.
Had your turn, so he would be next.
Yep.
He slams the door shut again.
Oh, don't you bugger! Let me get my toe in
there. Yeah, he is just gonna slam the door shut.
Does it sound like it locks?
It did not lock. You can hear more sounds inside of moving and that same speech.
Yeah. Well, as soon as he slams the door, it's my turn. I'm pushing the door open.
Okay. So you're kicking the door open?
Yep. I'm just trying to open and barrel right through.
Okay. You are as you grab the doorknob, it does not appear to be blocked, and you are able to come straight into the room.
Now, if I go to here, do I provoke attack of opportunity from all three?
If you go where? I didn't see you.
Right there.
Nope, you would not get it.
But if I leave that, I do.
Right.
Okay.
But just as soon as you start in the door, there is a loud snap. And you feel something just snap across your face.
Oh.
For 4 damage.
Ooh, that hurt.
And immediately you hear more of that guttural language snapping. It sounds very much like he's giving you an order.
Which is the one who whipped me?
That would be this one.
Okay. Is it my turn?
It is your turn. You've just burst into the room. It was just as you came through the door, you just feel this snap, and it is now you can finish your turn.
And his gums are flapping.
His gums are flapping. And
I literally try and drive my dagger right through it to the back of his skull.
Okay.
So that's just a to hit roll?
Yep. 2 hit plus strength.
Yeah, I'm proficient.
Yeah, you don't even need the strength. So.
Oh, come on. Oh, I don't get sneak attack, do I?
Not on this.
So 4. Yeah, that's just the roll plus 2. So 4.
Yep. And I still gonna.
I do 4 to you too.
Here. Okay, so -4. Okay, this guy you hit him with the dagger, and you cut him deep, but he's still up.
Okay. Cabot steps in behind me.
Okay.
And Cabot goes, "Burn, you evil! Feel the kiss of Lathander's radiance."
Okay. Which one?
The one that whipped me and that I just
you?
whacked with the dagger.
Okay. So that
DC 12 dex save.
Fail.
So 5 damage.
Five damage, and as the bolt of fire hits him, he kind of stumbles back into the wall and collapsing.
Okay.
He's down.
Is that a rat or another Vort? Zvort, whatever you say it.
That is a rat. It is a giant rat. So this thing's about the size of a small dog.
Like a chihuahua?
A little bigger. Almost corgi size.
Oh, drop kick it. That's rugby ball size. This is good.
Get my rat out here. And he does get to attack with advantage.
He does? Bugger. He missed, but
no.
That's just a bite.
He does hit.
I have a 13.
Not without armor.
Oh, shit. Damn it. I have a 12. Fuck.
And that just hits.
I'm down. 0.
Okay. So the rat is able to put you down.
You thinking rat. So right at 0, are you unconscious?
Yes. You are unconscious and you start making death saves.
Now or the next turn?
Next round.
Okay.
It's each round on your turn.
Okie doke.
Okay, let me make sure I get the right guy here. This one out.
I think I'm next, aren't I?
Yep. This guy is going to disengage. Take a step back. And throw one of his darts at Cabot.
Wait a minute, which dude did this?
The one on the other side. But they do get to disengage as a bonus action.
So even with poison resistance, we got nailed. Come on.
Okay, so
he hit him.
Yep, he does. It does hit. He needs to make a Constitution save.
What's the dwarf advantage again?
I believe dwarves get. I think it is. You get advantage on them.
Yeah, that's what I think too.
I recall.
It's con, right?
It is a con. Okay. So the dart hits Cabot, and he kind of whistles for a minute, and then just shakes it off.
I'll make a death save.
Okay, that is a failed death save.
1 failed death save.
And Cabot.
Healing word, is that a bonus action?
That is a bonus action.
Okay, so that's the first thing he's gonna do. And healing word's an actual spell, right? So that'll be a last spell slot. Oh, it's cure wound. Oh no, there's healing wound.
Okay, so you are now conscious once more. You are prone, and you have 4 hit points.
Okay. And he will then feel a Thander's righteous anger, you little ugly bastard. Sacred Flame.
Sacred Flame. And he... Nope, that was the wrong guy. Because it really does make a difference between them.
Oh, man, come on.
Okay, so he is able to dodge. He kind of flips the table.
This is just my argument. Is his ability make any difference to his save roll?
Actually, it does.
Damn it.
For those two these guys are Zvart keepers. Yeah. The keepers are more dexterous than the drudges.
Yeah, okay. Oh well, is what it is.
Although, hold on, let me do it this way.
If he had his mod on the first roll, he'd have failed that one. But anyways,
that's what
I'm just trying to live here.
No, I'm actually I like to be fair and go with the first roll. So we get the original roll. He does fail.
Woohoo! 5
because he had a 9. It would have been a 9. So okay, so he fails. 5 damage. He takes this blast of flame, and he's kind of he's sitting just behind the table. His hair's smoking, but he is still up.
Yeah.
The rat is going to
kind of eye to eye with the rat now. I'm like, oh god, yes. Not again.
It is going to make a bite attack at you.
Misses. Or does it have advantage? Shit.
I'm going to say that you don't because, well, technically.
I'm prone. I haven't been able to stand up, right?
Yeah, because you. Well, yeah,
or
because
does it
hasn't come back to your turn yet. So you are prone, so it would still have advantage.
It hits. I'm going unconscious again. I'm out. Damn it. I hate rats. Really gonna hate rats.
Okay. And this guy is going to use his whip to snap at Cabot.
What's the reach? 10?
10.
Fucker. Yeah,
that is an 18, so that does hit. For 5 damage.
Oh, gee. I don't know how to adjust that, so he's down to 5.
Oh, I didn't get his stuff set. Okay, and it is back to you.
Well, I'll make a death save.
16, that is successful.
Woohoo. I groan.
And Cabot.
Cabot. I'm just going to check what his actual attack is versus the spell. If I can get him up here. Get back up here. So wait, he doesn't have a hammer or anything. He's just got his fist, right?
I would say he could have picked up one of the daggers off the drudges.
Okay. He's going to hurl it at the guy with the whip.
Okay.
He doesn't have dagger on there. I'm just gonna roll a d20, but is dagger strength or dex?
It's either.
Okay, good. He's got +3.
So you rolled a 3.
Fuck.
And even with a +3, the dagger misses.
Dings off. Damn it.
Okay. The rat is going to charge forward. I'm going to say it's standing over here, rather than having it standing on top of you.
Yeah.
And it is going to make a bite.
Fucking deadly rat, my god.
Man. For
Anything
3
5 or
damage.
more? Oh, he's still up. Too bad there's not a cantrip that actually heals damage.
Yeah.
He's at 2.
Okay.
Oh, this is not going to be good for the dwarven ballads.
He is trying. He's going to move over here by the door, by that other door. And
I think that might hit. Sadly.
yeah.
Cabot has...
He
Dex
had 2.
1, so 11.
Yep. So Cabot is down.
We're down. We're done. Little fuckers.
Okay.
Dun 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 dun.
Clear that turn order.
Guess I should have locked the door and tried to find her stuff. Oops. Wisdom is his lowest stat.
Yeah, so you guys.
Separate ones this time? Same one?
Once more, you guys have woken up. Back in your cells.
Hey, Cabot, you ever hear of a story called Groundhog Day? Think I'm living it.
The plus side of it is that you've now you've been out long enough to have healed.
Yeah.
So you are back to full HP.
And we don't have our belts though now, right?
No, you do not. You've been stripped to your skivvies.
Damn it. I'll still take you, little fuckers. But I am going to check out the Cabot sheet here.
As you're waking up, you can hear Cabot kind of groaning in his cell.
All's good try.
The little bastards have more in them than they look.
Well, live and learn. We gotta find our equipment first, I think. That stuff you were doing back there. Can you damage things?
Doesn't work so well against metal and stone.
Are they the same cells we went back into?
Mm-hmm.
No, well, let's check her again. I again look any rock fragments, anything.
Okay, investigation.
Yeah.
Okay. This time, as you're going along, you're checking all the stones and all of the work. As you get to the western wall again, and you kind of start digging at it.
Is this west here?
Yes.
Okay.
You push on one of the stones, and it actually falls out the other side.
Ooh.
And you can just see through it. Just see what looks to be a collapsed cell on the other side of the wall.
I quickly... Can my arm reach down to the floor? Are there any rock fragments down there? Or...
Not quite, but you do notice that it's soft enough that you can probably manage to push more of these rocks out.
I'm trying to do it as quickly and quietly as I can.
Okay. It takes you a few minutes, but you're able to dislodge enough of the rocks to make a hole big enough for you to crawl through.
Okay. I will then try and get over here and see if there's a big enough gap where the doors used to be, or are, or if they're twisted enough.
Yep. As you get into the next cell, you can see where this entire section has collapsed and has actually taken out the walls and the door of the adjacent cell.
Great. I look to see if there's any metal pieces.
You do find a couple of scraps that you can kind of sharpen down on the rocks.
I stealthily come over and go, I'm out. And I try and pick the lock. Dex? Or are these close enough to pick so I can actually use thieves' tools?
Give me a intelligence check.
Okay.
Why is that not working? I don't know.
Nope.
No. You were able to file the pieces down so that you can get them into the lock, but you didn't quite get them to the point where they'd work as well as your thieves' tools.
Sure. So Dex.
So just the Dex.
Oh,
God. Okay. Okay. Yeah. And Cabot kind of looks at you. Just give me one of those rocks.
Okay. Just let me check something first. And I give him a rock. Don't make any noise just yet. And I stealthily try and go over here. Do you want to roll the stealth and not tell me, or do you want me to do it?
Go ahead and...
Okay. I don't think I make any noise.
Nope, not at all.
Is this locked?
It is not.
I will, again, stealthily try and do that and get over to this one and listen. So, Stealth.
Yep. You are good. You do not hear anything behind that door.
I check to see if it's locked.
It is not.
I quietly open it and peek.
You see assorted chests, crates, and piles of equipment fill this small room. From the state of the room, it's clear that the creatures that captured you have captured many others, but have little interest in their belongings.
I quickly go for my weapons, my thieves' tools, anything like that I can find.
Okay, you do
armor.
see them. You see a pile in the corner, which is clear. You recognize all of the stuff that's there.
So I quickly get the rapier, the dagger, thieves' tools.
Yep. So you now have all of your equipment.
Well, yeah, the armor I'm not going to try and do anything with. I quietly come back and go, I found our stuff. And I pull out my picks and I try and open it.
Okay, thieves' tools. Now that you've got your tools, you make very short work of these ancient locks.
And then I try and tell him to be really quiet and take him to the room. I'll roll a stealth.
Okay, yep. Make a stealth for Cabot. I'll let you continue on with a 20 and a 19. I'll let you continue on those.
Okay, Cabot, buddy. Assuming he doesn't have stealth, I'm just gonna roll his dex. And he doesn't have stealth, so Yeah.
Okay, so you guys have made it over and into the room.
I get him to find whatever stuff he needs.
Yeah, and Cabot immediately starts grabbing at this stuff and throwing on his mail. And so you made it over into the room. Let me.
While he's doing that, I go to listen at that door because I know it's going to take him a while to put the armor on.
Yeah, and he's not exactly being quiet about it.
I just close the door and listen there. I just want to hear if they're coming.
You do hear from inside what that same sound talking, and since you're listening right at the door, you hear him grab the doorknob.
I go to the side that he's going to be exposed to when he opens it. I get my rapier ready to drill him.
Okay.
As soon as he cracks it open, I do that, but I'm also screaming, "Cabot!"
Hey,
he's gonna come out with the helm on and trying to pull up a cod piece, and that's about it.
Okay.
What's it take, like an hour to get scale mail on?
Oh, it takes about 5 minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's good. That is going to keep him out of initiative.
Yeah, I get that. Oh,
for a couple of rounds.
Sorry.
There we go. Go ahead and roll initiative for yourself.
8.
Oh, you got an 8. Okay.
Damn rat. Damn fucking rat. I'm gonna kill that rat. I'm gonna develop a stinking phobia at rats. I'm just sitting here in my mind going, it's gonna fucking crit me and take me out on the first round. You watch.
Okay, so the Zvart opens the door.
The rat comes barreling out.
Pretty much.
It's his attack dog. He sent it out. I panic.
Yeah, because
not the rat.
Unfortunately, you do not get a surprise on this because he heard something that he was coming out to investigate.
That's fine.
So the rat does pop out, and considering the rat, so you're expecting the Zvart, so you jab in.
Right over.
You're having the prepared with the rapier jabbing in, but the Zvart's not there. And as you look down, you just see this rat growling.
I hate you too. What did I say? What did I say would happen? I'm not even gonna look. Just tell me if I'm unconscious.
I think you are because it's an 8.
Nope.
No. Okay.
I'm at 2.
Okay.
I hate rats. Definitely, it's like he's getting there, man. He definitely yells at Cabot. Get the fuck out of
here. Cabot's still trying to get into his armor.
Fuck the armor. It's like, I'll try and skewer this thing.
Okay. Okay, so that definitely hits. For 4 damage.
Oh my god. So upstaged by a rat. And I'm keeping my body as much away from the Zvart, hopefully, being able to see me.
Yes.
Or at least knowing it's got a whip, I'm trying to make sure I'm around far enough from the corner there.
Yeah, he's going to step to the side.
So, like...
And try to get...
Because I can still take a 5-foot step back and not get an attack of opportunity from the rat, right?
No.
No?
If you leave melee with the rat, it gets an attack of opportunity.
Damn it.
Okay, he cannot quite get a bead on you from where he is. So he is just going to sit tight.
Yeah, with that rat, I would too.
Rat moves out of the doorway.
Attack of opportunity?
No, it did not leave melee,
Okay.
but it does not hit.
Okay.
It's kind of moving out of the doorway and trying to get around you.
Full action
to
to
let
close
the
the
Zvart
door?
out.
Full action to close the door, bonus action.
Um,
I'd like to be able to close the door and stab the rat.
yeah, I'll give you the door as a interaction.
So I can do that and stab the
Yep.
rat. Okay. I close the door, stab the rat.
Close the door and stab the rat.
Please hit. I do not want to die to a rat. Again.
Okay. With that, you're able to just, as you slam the door shut and then turn with the rapier and just slam it and jab it right into the rat's neck. Just lets out this squeal.
I just kick it away. Debating whether I'm going to eat it later to get over this or not. I'm like, Cabot, get the fuck out of here now.
Okay. We now have the Zvart, who is trying to pull the door open.
I try to keep it closed.
So we are going to have a contested strength.
Please, please, please.
And you are able to hold the door.
Nana, nana, poopski.
You can hear it just yelling from the other side.
Oh, we so frustrated. I see it in comment. Just that's real nice. I'll open it up.
It is your turn.
I'm screaming at Cabot now to get his ass out of here.
I'm coming. I'm coming. I just gotta.
Fuck everything. Get out of here, even if you're naked. I just want him out because if the Zort heaves on the door next time, I'm letting it go.
Okay, and I would actually say that you're standing directly in front of the door now.
Okay.
For the sake of this, so that...
Yeah.
So, okay. So, it is your turn, and all you're doing is yelling for Cabot?
Yes, and holding the door.
Holding the door. Oh, door! Oh, door!
Oh, I got a brilliant idea if I can get his butt out here.
The Zvart is attempting to open the door again.
I'll let her go. Like, with a shove. Like, I want him to fall on his ass.
Okay, now he is heaving. Go ahead. And you're just... And now you're pushing...
Yep.
Okay,
so
go
I'll
ahead
roll my strength just
strength.
so you see how it's working or not working.
Okay, he is heaving. You have a 10 push against the door. He gets one more strength, which he fails. He is knocked prone.
I get advantage when he's not prone, right? And I can sneak attack.
Yes.
Too bad you're late, Cabot. I really hope to skewer this bugger. Do I actually get to attack?
So, yes, it is your up because his turn was trying to open the door. So with how that played out, he falls prone.
12.
So as you come in lunging forward with the rapier, he manages to roll out of the way.
Oh, come on! Would have been my first sneak attack.
And he is going to come at you with the whip, which misses. He's not quite, he stands up and he goes to smack you with the whip, and he's not able to get a good angle on it, so he's unable to get a solid crack.
So I'm literally like 1 foot knee bent, other kind of on my knee, and literally trying to lunge through the dude in the gut, hoping at some point Cabby his little blue head and zap it.
Okay.
So I'll make a to hit. I get nothing special, just my normal, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I do nothing special.
Still unable to
Has
hit him.
Cabot given up on the armor yet? Like, I'm been screaming the whole time.
Well, that was part of the problem. He was like halfway into it.
Oh my god!
When this started, so it's he's got to finish dropping it in place, grabbing his stuff, and donning armor is 5 minutes.
Yeah, so I'm toast. Yeah.
So it's really you. By the time he's able to get set, this will be over.
I'm too far to close the door again, aren't I?
He is going. Well, since you just attacked, you won't. Yeah, you're kind of in the doorway. He is going to disengage, take a step back to the corner, and attack with his whip again.
Fuck, I'm dead.
That one is a hit.
I'm at 2. I'm dead. It doesn't matter. I'm unconscious.
You are unconscious.
Useless tit.
Okay.
I make a pathetic groan thump, hoping he hears.
Okay. We'll go ahead and bring Cabot into the initiative. Because we will say that this Vart is dragging you into the room.
Okay.
To get you out of the doorway rather than climbing over you.
Wow.
Oh, I accidentally dropped him in there. There we go.
He knows a dwarven death scream when he hears one.
Okay, so Cabot, he now has his stuff. He's got into his armor. He heard you. He goes back to the door and he sees this Vart dragging you into the room.
So he's what, here?
So yeah, he is there.
He's gonna do his big blasty spell if he can.
Okay. Yeah, and I will say he is here since he's dragging you. That hits. Okay, and with that, the Vart's kind of like dragging you into the room, muttering.
Looks up and goes, "Oh shit!"
Looks up as this blast of light slams into him, blasting him into the back wall.
Hopefully dead.
Yes, he is dead.
Cabot, feeling a bit like a schmuck, comes over and he heals me.
Okay. So
what I want to know is
Cure Wounds.
Yeah, he can cast Cure Wounds. That'll be the last of it.
Or he could stabilize you.
Yeah.
He can stabilize you for free.
He has medicine, but it's too late to get hit points back from it, right?
Right. He doesn't have.
He's gonna cast a spell.
Okay.
He's got his armor. He's got his weapon. He's feeling pretty good about whacking people, if you ask you.
Okay. So you are now conscious. You have 4 hit points.
And guy looks at him, go, "Aren't we fucking shiny?"
Well, he's now standing here in full chain with this golden colored shield.
Oh god, he's
and the warhammer.
Well, don't you look all impressive? Is that a door in the back corner here?
That is another door there.
I just listen. I'll do a perception.
Okay.
Sorry. Bounce between sheets. And if I don't hear anything, I ask him to quietly come over and listen.
You do not hear anything behind the door.
Perception wisdom?
Let's say, what's your passive? 12. Okay. But while you're listening, you happen to notice the edges of the door are all caked with dried mud.
Like it's sealed?
Like it was an attempt to seal it. There, you cannot see any openings.
Great. Okay.
Around the edges of this door.
So I tell him to quickly go back to that room and look for any useful stuff. I check the Zwart bodies, the rat bodies, get keys, get anything useful from it, anything in this room, and then I go back and join him in here.
Okay. You do find a couple of rings of keys. You find a pouch with 27 copper.
Yeah, okay.
And another small bag. When you open it, you're feeling it feels like it might be gems or something inside, but when you open it, it's teeth.
Yeah, great. Look like human and other people's and that kind of stuff.
All kinds. There's a couple of them that look almost like fangs.
Yeah.
But they all appear to be humanoid.
Okay. So 2 key rings or 1?
2.
Okay. I keep the teeth. You never know.
Okay. And make an investigation check when you go back to the room, to the storage room.
Just 1 sec. Bag of teeth. And investigation. Come on, this is my bread and butter, man. And I suck ass again.
Okay. As you're digging through all of this stuff and flipping up, opening the chest and going through it, you're finding like bolts of cloth and other assorted goods. A lot of trade goods. Yes. There's assorted equipment, scraps of armor, different weapons. And you also find a small case with 4 small vials in it.
I look at them and I hold them to him. Cabot kind of opens and sniffs, takes a look. Do you have any clue what they are?
Make an Arcana check.
I don't think he has Arcana. So that would be an int?
Yes.
God, mine would be better.
He's... Okay.
He seems confused.
Make a medicine check.
Okay.
I'm gonna retro that one back to a medicine check because he's a life cleric.
Oh my god. The healing potion, he kind of knows it at contact.
Yeah, he kind of recognizes it. It takes him a minute. He's kind of looking at it like, this looks familiar. And then he said, but these, well, he's a life cleric. He can't make them himself yet.
Yeah. So he's seen enough of them.
I have seen these. These will help restore health.
So they seem like healing potions for them?
Yes.
I give him 2 and I take 2.
Okay.
I don't know if I can add stuff on his sheet though.
You should be able to.
Okay. Just 2 regular healing potions?
Yep.
Okay. So I said, we can try and just get out of here if you want. I'm sadly a very curious bugger. I'd be really curious to know why they mudded the door closed in that room. It would make me think they're scared or something. What would you rather do?
Well, I I definitely want to get out of this place.
Okie dokie.
But I can't say that I wouldn't mind a chance to give those little blue devils what for.
Okie dokie. I take my dagger and I on the mud. Does it come out easily, or is it like
Yep,
they?
it does clear away easily.
Okay. I get it out. I check. Is it locked?
The door is locked.
I get out my tools. You know what would be way cool? If they can like do voice activation stuff like with Siri on a program like this.
That would be neat.
So I assume I have no luck.
No, you are able to get it unlocked.
I listen again, see if I've attracted anything.
Make a perception check.
No. I would assume that would be a real bugger to program, wouldn't it?
Possibly. It depends on exactly what you did and how you did it, because you have to have keywords. Okay, and yet you do not hear anything.
I ask Habit to come over here right behind me. Does the door look like it's going to push open to my left or push open to my right?
It actually looks like it's going to pull open.
Okay. I tell him I'm going to pull it open, and if something comes through, you get ready to hit it.
Okay.
And I pull it open.
Okay. Behind the door, there's a dark, narrow corridor leads to the north. The walls appear wet and slick.
Does it look dark enough that I'm going to have to get my lantern going?
No, you have dark vision.
Yeah. I just didn't know. Sometimes.
Yeah, it's it looks to be about 20 feet long, and you can see a door at the other end.
Check the stonework. Does it seem like it's the same as this stuff?
It is the same. The stone is the same as the rest of the room that you're in, but unlike the rest of the walls that you've seen, these appear wet.
Does the seepage seem to be coming from above, below, the sides? Can't tell. I don't know if stone cutting helps me with that, or stone whatever it is helps me with that.
I will say it looks like it's hard to say exactly where it's coming from. But it does seem, you notice, give me a perception.
I'm just trying to figure out if it's actually waters all around it. It's kind of the gist of what I'm trying to figure out.
Okay.
I don't like the idea of something happening in water just flowing in and getting.
So give me another perception. There you go.
Sure, whatever.
Yeah, it looks like the ceiling is a bit wetter than the walls.
So I'm going to investigate then and see if there's like a trap door in the ceiling anywhere.
Okay, so you're going to head in and start poking along the ceiling?
Yeah, I'll like check 10 feet ahead in the ceiling, then I'll check the floor, and then I'll check the ceiling, and then I'll check the floor. I'm more concerned that water comes dashing down on my head somehow.
Okay. What are you using to check the ceiling?
I don't know if I would have like in my thieves tools collection like a short staff with like a metal tip.
Not really.
Something like that.
Thieves' tools are more just assorted picks.
Okay.
And such.
Then I would be, if I'm not tall enough, I would probably be using my rapier just to poke along the cracks to see if there's loose motor or there's something.
You get about halfway down the corridor, and as you're poking the ceiling, moving your way down, you poke the rapier up, and you notice something recoil from it.
I back the hell up fast.
And roll initiative. And, oh shit! I didn't set this one up. Okay, I'm not. So this one I'm gonna have to play by hand. I don't have an icon for it. And where the hell is it? Shit! Where did he go? My critter's missing.
There's no critter. It was an illusion.
Nice try.
An illusion of a critter. Honestly, it was.
Oh no, this is actually a custom critter.
Oh god.
This is one I made explicitly for this adventure.
They're usually harder.
So you see something just kind of recoil from your rapier.
I got 11. Cabot got 17. He sees it. He's ready.
Okay, and 17.
Simo.
So well, Cabot
his dex is 13.
He definitely gets to go first.
Okay.
So it's Cabot, my critter, and then you.
Okay. Let me just check.
And what you see as it's recoiling is it's just this kind of white mass on the ceiling.
Great. Pus bubble. I just want to know realistically, can he pop off a crossbow attack? Or he'll just use the flamey thing?
He can do either.
Okay. You got him.
Okay. Shoot. Where's my...
I'm really hoping a 21 hits.
Yes, it does.
3 piercing.
I apologize. I was creating...
God, man, relax.
About these guys.
It blows my mind you get all this stuff together. Oh, did he find like his holy symbol or whatever, so he's got his material components now?
Yes, he does.
Woohoo. Happy camper.
Yeah, actually, did I finish? You found all your gear. You also found a silver holy symbol.
Ooh, he's happy.
It appears to be of Torm, which is not his god.
Oh well.
But you get to
he can melt it down later. You say that out loud. Can I see the hallway now, or?
Oh, I'm sorry. I keep forgetting. I've gotten so used to dynamic lighting.
It is a neat feature.
Yeah. So
he's kind of here, and I was probably a little ahead.
Actually, what did I do? That is not what it is. Damn it. But it'll do. I thought it would do. Where'd he go?
I'm just kind of keeping my rapier pointed up so it hopefully impales itself if it comes at me.
Oh, okay. That's why it's not dropping.
Of course, it doesn't want to pierce itself on my rapier.
Okay, it's still not dropping. Let me try a different critter.
Much easier one to kill. No giant rats.
See if this one will drop. Okay, this one won't drop on there either.
Woohoo!
Oy, okay. Well, it's in the hallway right in front of you.
Okay.
And it's this, just like I said, it's on the ceiling, and it's this just large white mass.
Just
as
like
you're there,
blob.
yes.
Oh god, no, not some kind of jelly.
And you see the section of it kind of swat out at you.
Like a pseudopod.
Yes, as a matter of fact. Kerspluck. Oh,
I'm dead.
I am rolling way too well tonight.
I'm unconscious. I might actually be dead.
I don't think it'll be quite that bad, I hope. Oh, shit.
Yeah, it's that bad.
Yeah, I hadn't really considered a crit from this thing.
Yeah, I think that kills me outright.
No, it doesn't, because your full hit points is 10.
10.
So it would have to do over 20 points of damage.
Okay. I'm down.
Yeah, so this thing hits you. The force of it knocking you down, and what Cabot sees with you on the ground, and there's like this part of your armor is smoking.
Oh, great. Well, Cabot's turn now?
It would actually be yours, and you need to make a death save. Okay. That is good.
I make a noise.
And it is now Cabot's turn.
And Cabot is going to try and drag my sorry ass out of there and close the door.
Okay. So he grabs you. Go ahead and make a strength for Cabot.
$16. His trick is 16.
Okay, so he grabs you by the ankles and starts and hauls you back away from this thing, out the door, and slams the door shut.
And then just starts pushing the chairs and the table in front of it. And then he's going to shove healing potions down my mouth.
Okay. So go ahead and roll your healing potion or potions.
He's pulling his out, and how much do they do?
2d4 plus 2.
So 10, woohoo. I look at him and go, what the fuck was that?
I've never seen anything like that.
Okay. The Zvorts weren't totally stupid. We jam all that stuff up, go get a couple crates, put it in front of it. We maybe
okay, so you're piling all the stuff in front of it. While you're doing this, you hear the door rattle. So apparently this thing is slammed against the door.
Yeah.
And around the edges where you've cleared out all the mud, you can see the edges of white starting to creep through.
I tell him to step back, and I smash a thing of oil on it, and then I step back and spark it up.
Okay. In doing that, as soon as you light the flame and it starts burning around the door, you see the tendrils that had started to work its way through the door recoil back under the door.
Okay. And I got oil on it. So do I actually roll damage, or don't bother?
It would be 1d6.
He didn't like that.
No, it definitely did not seem to like fire.
I look at him and go, is your thing you do actually fire damage?
It is not.
Bummer.
It's radiant.
I don't think this thing likes fire. I look, is the mud all dried up and crumbly that we
It
used?
is.
Okay.
So as you were scraping it all out, it was all just just crumbling away.
And there was nothing in that other room that would be similar that we could jam in there real fast.
Not really, but right now you smashed a thing of oil on the door.
Yeah.
And the door is starting to burn.
Oh, okay. Let's just go. We'll pull this door tight, and we're gonna leave all those chairs and table right there.
Yeah, so all that stuff is burning.
Oh, Cabot, how good are your gauntlets? Can you quickly open that door?
I don't know. Because you've piled all this stuff up in front of the door.
Yeah,
And
it's
most
a
of it's
shame.
catching on fire.
Okay, let's go. I was just thinking if we could open the door, we could start peeling it down the hallway. So we'll leave and we'll shut this door and put a couple crates in front of it from here.
Okay. Let's say you're able to find some assorted stuff to block it in.
And then I'll go listen at this and see if I hear anything about the crackling of the fire.
Perception check.
If I'd smart again, the straw and everything, and made a real bonfire.
Okay, you do not hear anything in the hall.
Okay, I check the door. Is it locked?
It is not locked.
I quickly take out the key rings just to see. Is there one that it matches on this?
There is.
Cool. I put the other. Are the key rings identical?
No, I'll say, given you're a thief, you can compare the key. There's only like 3 keys on each, and they all appear to match.
I go, here you go. I give one to Cabot. I open this door and see what I see.
Okay, as you open this, and you can see it's a fairly long hallway to the north and south. To the south, it appears to turn to the west, and to the north. Oops, I didn't quite get that piece. You do see a door at the end of the hallway.
I tell Cabot to stay here and be very, very quiet, and I stealthily go down to where the door one is and go to listen at it.
Okay.
So that's the one at the bottom?
Yep. So you're completely stealthy and coming around the corner.
I listen before I go around the corner.
And you see a door.
Okay, I will listen at the door.
Okay, perception check.
It's really a shame Cabot didn't have guidance.
You're not hearing anything behind the door.
Okay. Then I go stealthily up the other way. To there. I'll make the roll. I always find it funny to think of stealthy dwarves. It just seems so wrong. And of course it is.
Okay, and you see that there is another corridor that goes off to the east.
Listen before I go around the corner.
Do not hear anything.
Okay. I step around the corner. Is this a door here?
That is a door there.
I listen.
Okay, give me a perception check. You
I don't hear a damn thing.
don't hear anything behind the door.
I take a quick peek down here. Listen before I step out to look both ways, like any good thief would.
And oops, I'm missing a wall. So at the edge of your sight, what looks like an opening is actually another door.
Yeah.
So there are two doors directly across from each other.
Collapse here.
Collapse section there, and a door at the end of the hall.
Okay, so I go back and I point at the cabinet that there's a door up to the top here. There's a door at the bottom, and I suspect there's a room somewhere between that and the next all over. So why don't we go to the one down here and see what we find? Okay, that sounds good. I check to see if the door is locked.
It is not.
I try one of the keys.
Doesn't seem to be a door that doesn't seem to any that fit.
And I pull out my tools. Said it's good not to get lazy.
Okay. So you're locking the door?
Oh, it was unlocked.
unlocked.
Sorry, I didn't hear that. I open it.
Okay.
My bad.
It's okay. Okay.
Ooh.
The musky smell of mildew, urine, decay fills your nose as you enter the room. The floor is covered with a thick layer of straw, and a packed mound of it stands in the corner near a partially collapsed wall.
I look real quick to think what peed that much.
Make a nature check.
This is gonna be funny.
I'll even give you advantage on it.
Is that unique, right?
Well, being a thief and kind of a bounty hunter,
16.
You recognize this smell, similar to what you've run across in the sewers of some of the cities when you were finding quick and unobserved ways of traveling.
Yep.
Highway. This reminds you of a rat's nest.
Oh God! I quickly take a look to see if there's something moving within the straw, and if I have any hint that there's a rat, I'm stepping out.
Okay, you do notice some movement.
I'm done.
Small.
I close the door. Come back out. Close the door.
It looked like it was probably normal rats.
I just look at him and go, "There's a lot of rats. We can come back."
Okay.
If he's very perceptive, he's probably noticing I'm sweating a little bit.
Given the last rat we ran into, I'm with you.
Dun, 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 dun. So go back up to here. And I'm just going to go to the rubble. I'm going to smell and I'm going to listen. I'm trying to smell if I smell like urine, etc., excrement, and just listening for noise.
Okay, make a perception check. All you're picking up, you're not hearing anything in the rubble, and what you're picking up is just the scent of earth, stone.
What should be there?
Yes.
Okay. I'll listen here.
Which door? There's one on each wall.
The one that would be
to that side?
Yep.
Okay. Make a perception check. Okay, you do hear a voice inside.
Does it sound Zvortian?
Yes, it does sound like the same language you've been hearing. Though the tones are not they're a bit softer. More it's still a this deep guttural, but you get the impression that he's not speaking in anger, almost like he's talking to something. It's a normal conversation, or almost. Well, yeah, it's just more of a gentler conversation.
Okay. I listen carefully for a bit, just pointing at Cabot to be quiet, just to get an idea of how many voices do I hear.
You just hear the one.
I hold up my hand to indicate one. Is it a push-pull knob door?
It would be a pull.
I point to Cabot that it's going to pull out. He can barrel in. I'll come right behind him.
Okay, and give me a moment.
Should I roll an ish?
You will need to in a moment. Shoot, guy. Right guy.
13 for me, 6 for him. Sorry.
Okay. Okay. As you push the door open, you see a relatively well-kept chamber. It gives the impression of being the private quarters of someone who's respected. Across from the door, a balding humanoid with blue skin looks up from a pair of enormous rats and growls.
I hate rats.
And it is initiative time.
Oh my god. Gonna get pasted. They all go first.
Hello.
Fuck. Get the criticals out now, dude. Get them out now.
Okay, and you've got a 13, and he has a 6.
Yep. We all go after. So as long as I'm attacking the same dude that Cabot's attacking, I can get sneak attack, right?
You get sneak attack when so long as Cabot is in melee.
Okay.
Okay, the first rat is going to charge forward. And is going to make well, it's going to be a bite at you because you're in the doorway.
Yeah, I get that.
It's a 10. So the first rat misses. The blue guy is going to step over other side of the room and pulls out a sling.
Oh my. Yeah, that hits. Oh
For
my
5.
god. Sling bullet to the forehead.
Yeah. Okay, so he tags you with a shot from his sling. The other rat is going to move forward, but it's unable to attack because it's in the doorway. The first one is in the doorway. And it is now your turn.
Okay. Well, I'm going to stick the rat in front of me.
That hits. 9. Okay, yeah, you stab it right in the throat. Causing
Okay.
and killing it. The Zvart sees this and screams.
I feel the same way about them too.
So he is absolutely furious.
Okay.
And Gabbit.
Cabot steps on the body and makes sure he does a dance on his skull. And then, actually, he's going to move right there. And he's going to smiles at Zvort and cracks the giant rat.
Okay, he's going to hit the other rat.
Dun, dun, dun. No, he doesn't.
That misses. So this rat kind of shifts out of the way of his hammer.
Yeah.
As he's bringing it down.
And I'm now taking up my bow.
This rat is dead. Okay, at this point, the Zvart pulls out this really nasty-looking falchion.
Ew. Be like as big as he is.
Pretty close.
Falchion's basically a fat scimitar, right?
Yes. I actually use essentially scimitar stats for it.
Yeah.
Which, damn it, why didn't that take? That's the same thing. It's gonna say short sword.
Yeah.
But it's slashing instead of piercing. But 7. So he pulls out the falchion, takes a swing at Cabot, and Cabot blocks it with his shield. The rat is going to make a bite attack with advantage. 13.
Don't think that hits him.
That does.
I think Cabot's got like a gross AC. Yeah, 17.
17. Okay, so the rat kind of chomps on, but isn't able to get through the mail. And it is now your turn.
And I am going to fling arrow at said rat, and I can do sneak attack.
You can.
First time ever.
That does not hit.
Of course not.
Skin just misses the rat.
And bows, there's just one shot each, right? It's your attacks now that determine. Get him, Cabot! Cabot tries really hard to schmuck the Zvort.
He's going after the Zvart this time?
Yeah, crack his little blue skull.
Okay, that definitely hits.
Oh, man. So close to a crit. 7.
Okay. Zvart seems to rock back a little bit from the hit and growls and leans forward again. And makes another attack with his falchion.
He misses.
Again, Cabot blocks it.
Now the killer rats. That seemed to
killer
give
rat
us the biggest grief.
Attempts to bite him.
And it hits.
But 17.
Unless it doesn't have advantage.
Oh, yes. So this time it's able to sink its teeth into his leg for 3 damage.
Okay. So Cabot is at 7.
Yep. And you are up.
I focus and try to control my breathing and not sweat and shake and kill the fucking rat.
Well, actually, he is in Cabot. Well, no, I'll give you. Yeah, they're both in melee because the rat just bit him. So
it means what?
So yeah, you'll get sneak attack, but you do not hit.
My God.
Okay, Cabot
Tries to crush the Zort's skull. That rat's gonna get really annoying. Really fast.
15 hits.
Oh, thank you.
11.
That's his max.
Okay, and with this, you see the Zvart rocks back again from the blow.
Mm-hmm.
Got some blood dripping from his mouth, but he is still standing.
Oh God, buggers at one. Okay.
He makes another swing with his short sword.
This is not gonna end well.
This time hits.
Yep.
For 9 damage.
Down.
And okay, so he just dropped Cabot.
Yep.
And you hear him as Cabot falls, he starts chuckling.
Oh, that pissed me off.
And he is actually going to move down over to here.
Of course he would, the
coward. The rat. And you hear him mutter something to the rat, and the rat immediately darts forward.
Yeah, I shoot him.
You.
Or unless he's in rapier range, then I'm just gonna poke him.
Yeah, he's now in rapier range.
Okay.
He's now in melee. So it darts forward, try and snaps at you, but misses.
Here, just run onto this thing for me. I'll just hold it.
Does not hit.
No, of course not. We're gonna die again. Fuck.
And Cabot.
Death save.
Death save.
I don't see that on his sheet.
I just roll a d20.
Okay.
Okay. That is successful.
Okay.
Okay. This Svart is going to move to here and use his sling.
Oh, I'm dead. Unless he does 4 under, yeah, I'm dead. We go down. Fuck.
And down.
Jesus Christ. Freaking crazy. Just brutal.
Damn.
Just brutal, dude.
Okay, rogue and cleric is not a good pair up for this.
Oh no. Rogue and fighter. Bard and cleric would be good.
Yeah.
The other thing is, if it's going to be cleric with a rogue, guidance is key.
Yeah.
Guidance is like necessity. Well, I would think at this point they probably kill us. That's
Yep, I would
ridiculous.
have to say that this he would kill you for because of his rat. He was the kind words. These were his
It's
pets.
pets. Yeah.
These were his personal rats.
Well, how many hit points was his Vard at?
He was down to 6.
God. Yeah, we were dead. It wouldn't have mattered.
Yeah, he's the commander.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, he's the Uber's Vart.
So
for this.
what was that custom thing, man?
That was an alabaster slime.
You can never do much to them, and they almost never have much of them.
Yeah, and that the slime is actually stronger than this Vart.
Yeah, I kind of figured.
The big thing with it is if you hit it with bludgeoning or force damage, it splatters.
Oh god.
Which means whatever damage you do with bludgeoning or force gets spread throughout across anybody within 10-foot radius.
That is funny. Yeah, no, I think the only thing I would have done different is just open the door and started pitching burning chairs down that hallway, but yeah.
Like I said, for this pairing, it's definitely this is tough.
Guidance makes a difference because it can make a lot more rolls. But honestly, the only thing is killing the rats first, because once they get advantage, we're toast.